Hi everybody. So on Friday, I guess maybe it was technically Thursday night, maybe Friday morning, I don't remember exactly when, I decided to try to go with the Pinephone as my daily driver and see what kind of pain it would bring me. So, first thing I noticed was when I was getting into my vehicle, start up my vehicle, and then I unlock the phone and put it in the cradle so that I can see the phone while driving. And my radio comes on and says error on the screen, and then goes to the default AM channel I was last listening to, and I kind of went, that phone just turned on my radio in my vehicle, and it happened about 3 times, and now I can't get to do it anymore. But I think it's because I um, sync the Bluetooth to the Pinephone from my vehicle, which was the first time I managed to do that. My Plantronics headsets, ML620 or something like that, it doesn't even recognize that they exist, let alone broadcasting a pairing signal. So I can't use them. So anyway, yeah. So very strange behavior, but it doesn't seem to do it anymore. Now that the phone is paired with the vehicle, it doesn't turn the radio on when I unlock the phone. Maybe I'll unpair it and see if that works again, but it's not really important. So so off I go on my trip. I had a couple of clients to go see and pick up the missus, the usual Friday stuff to get ready for the weekend. And I tried calling somebody, so because I don't have a Bluetooth that worked, now it paired with the vehicle, but none of the Bluetooth functions worked. So there was no microphone, there was no loudspeaker, no nothing hands-free. So I had to push the speaker button, and of course the people I'm calling are complaining about the echo of their hearing their own voice at my end. I'm not sure how they get rid of that, but I think there's a way to do that. But anyway, so that's no good. So a wired headset is the only way to use this thing, hands-free. So I have one of those in the vehicle now too, and that seems to work okay. Nobody complains about hearing themselves talking. So anyway, so I'm using the phone, made a few phone calls, and then I'm running low on battery power. Now when I turned this phone on and I plugged it into my USB port in my vehicle, so it was constantly be charging for several hours in the vehicle. And as I'm using it, it's going down. By the time I get to my destination, I'm almost out of power, and the phone actually, I plugged it back in where I was, and the phone's still going down, and it's like I have to turn it off. So I had to turn it off, and then it started building a charge again. So it seems when you're using the phone and you're plugged in, the battery still declines. So maybe I think I have a 1 watt or 1 amp charger. I don't remember what, and I don't want to look at it right now because it's plugged in and charging. So maybe you need a really powerful uh, um, uh, what do you call these things? The phone charger. Yeah, maybe you need a powerful one. I don't know what, but it even plugged in overnight, Friday night into Saturday morning, unused. It did not get a full charge. It got about 80-90% somewhere around there. So my suspicion is this phone will never be a full charge unless you actually shut it off. I don't know if that's okay. I don't I never had to do that with any other phone, so I don't think it's appropriate. So the next thing I discover is on Saturday morning, so day number 2 now. Day number 2 daily driver using Mobian. Don't forget, I dumped Manjaro because it doesn't work. It's not ready for prime time anytime soon. So the Wi-Fi is hooked to my home Wi-Fi. So like any good tech guy, I have firewalls everywhere. I know exactly what's going on, where people are going, what they're doing, and who they're doing it with. So there's nothing you can hide from me. So I was dismayed to find the Pinephone is calling home. It's calling a couple of hosting providers I've never heard of, but the majority of them are Amazon.com. And so I said, what the F? So I made up a rule to block 443 ports to the Pinephone, only the Pinephone. So it stopped doing it. And then I took a look at all the other traffic, and now I had automatic time set up on this thing, and it's just peppering the firewall with 123 ports for time updates. Way too many. I've heard of accurate time, but it fills the logs with its calls out for a time check. So I turned that on. I turned automatic uh, zones and automatic time zones, and I turned it all off, and that got rid of that problem. Okay, so the log's starting to get smaller now. What's left? A lot of DNS queries, lots and lots of DNS queries. I'm not sure why it does so many, but I'm okay with that. It's not calling home anymore. So today, now Sunday, my third day with a Pinephone. I haven't once turned on my Samsung and put the SIM card back in it. Not once have I done that. On the third day, so I look into it, and I'm at a different location with the same firewall, and again, same problem here. So I'm looking into it a little further. Well, what I discovered, it's calling Amazon.com. I guess Amazon is the hosting provider, not really who it's calling, but it's their servers, their IP address. But it's calling a Mozilla location project. It's a project from Firefox. Well, Firefox is really what's calling home. They got some project going on to access your location information and call home with it. And well, I got rid of Android to get away from that, from Google. Now I got Amazon doing it and Mozilla. So Firefox it's coming out of that phone right away. And I also discovered that the Plasma desktop also calls home. So I won't be using that anytime soon either. I never tested it or checked into it. But when I was reading up on this Mozilla project, that was some of the other things that are doing this, because I read through them all. So watch out for that Plasma desktop stuff, because it's reporting your location. I don't want anyone to know where I am at any time. You want to find out, you have to ask me. I'm not going to put up with that. That's why I'm looking at Linux Pinephone, to get away from that stuff, not have more of it. So I'm very disappointed in that. Shame on you. I'm not sure who to shame. Is it shame on Firefox? Shame on Firefox and Pinephone for allowing it to be in there, because it was installed by default on Mobian. Not a Manjaro, unfortunately. I had to install it, but I'm glad the keyboard didn't work on it, and I uninstalled it, because Firefox it's going with Internet Explorer in the scrap heap, because it's reporting my location to somebody. Anyway, so what else did I discover? The chat's a little funky. With the chat, I'm used to the chat telling who's speaking, and it doesn't really say that anymore. So once you're into the chat window, you have to back out of it and see who you're chatting with, whose chat window it is. So it's kind of takes a little getting used. And it's a little bit too wide to fit the screen, although sometimes it's not. I don't know what's going on there. Sometimes it fits the screen, sometimes it doesn't. But it's still a little weird. And the other thing that's weird is when somebody calls you, this thing just rings constantly. It doesn't ring in bursts or like a normal North American phone ring sound. It just rings continuously. And it's like a fire alarm going off. So it makes you run for the phone quick, because it's going, just won't stop. Stand by for a minute. Sorry about that. So the other thing that I don't like about this phone is that the Wi-Fi is the only internet access I have on it. So I looked into that today, Sunday, on my third day of Pinephone daily driver testing. And I noticed there's APN names not entered on the phone. Let me make sure I got the right word for that. find it here. Just bear with me a minute. I'll give you the right information. And I hate when you click on something and it doesn't react immediately. I can't even find it. Access point names. It was missing 2 of them. Once I entered those 2, internet is available on the cell, from the cell tower, not from the Wi-Fi, because that was the problem I had for the first couple of days. Is whenever I would leave a Wi-Fi zone, I would have no internet. It would just be a phone. So, email wouldn't come in, and I've got evolution configured on this, by the way. I'll cover that in a minute. So I just had to put in LTE tethering and FIDO EPDG settings. And some of the settings I couldn't enter because there's no dialog box to type them into, but FIDO says you need all this stuff. But it works anyway, so I don't care because it works. So that was really good. So let's give you a quick peek at that. I don't know if you can see that. Let me turn the brightness down. Let's see if that helps. Probably doesn't. Yeah, there we go. So they just have the default one, and it has several of the default ones. I don't know why. Sometimes there was 3 there, but LTE tethering and that EPDG thing. I don't know which one does it, but I'm assuming it's the tethering. But so this says this has mobile internet now. Now, I did some testing while there was a Wi-Fi available, and it seems like it's going Wi-Fi by first choice, and only using the cell phone carrier when there's no other choice. I don't know if that's just random or whether it's built in that way, so be cautious about that one. You don't want to end up getting a big bill for data overages from your friends at your phone company. So anyway, yeah. So the Bluetooth is disappointing. I can sync it with my vehicle, but there's no button on the call to click into Bluetooth and do a hands-free call with the Bluetooth hardware on my vehicle. So I'm stuck with a corded solution, but it works. The only thing I don't like about headsets is you put both the earplugs in and you're not hearing the traffic anymore, so that's not always a good thing. So I'm just sticking one in, and it's in mono instead of stereo. So that works for me. And what else? Yeah, I thought of something. I don't know. Maybe it was just Manjaro, but this thing doesn't auto rotate, and I can't find the setting for it either. It always stays this way, and I'm sure I picked it up and it was upside down or something. But for some reason it stopped, or I'm not sure what's going on. I tried Googling, DuckGoing it, to try and find where the setting is to turn on and off auto rotate in Mobian, but I'm unable to find it. I looked in display. It doesn't seem to be anything there. I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, so far I'm less unhappy about Mobian than I was Manjaro, which is an absolute piece of crap. I don't know why they bother making it the default operating system for this phone. It's a phone that doesn't work. All of a sudden, I have a phone that now works, has carrier internet, and I remembered something else that sucks about this phone. So I set up my contact list. So when you choose a number to call contact, sometimes it dials and bounces back, so it doesn't dial. And you hit it a few times, and when you got the headphones on, it makes this popping sound in your ears, which is very annoying. Same with text messaging. You're trying to you're tapping it, and it just keeps failing. So I guess there's some work to do on that. I don't know what it is, but it needs some definite improvement to get the contact list to cooperate with the phone dialer and to make it automatic. Because that's especially when you're trying to do hands-free. Voice activation, I'm not even going to dream that that's going to be possible anytime soon. I'll probably be dead before anybody gets to writing the code for it. The way this project is crawling along. Um, all of a sudden I'm a Mobian fan. I think we should drop all other distributions and just work on this exclusively and get the thing up and running and get it to be a quality phone, and then work on the other pet projects after we've got a marketable device that can be used by everyone without hassle. Anyway, so I'm going to continue with the daily driver, and something will have to really piss me off before I go back to my old phone. Um, Although I realize I carry it around with me because if I want to do a video, I need my old phone because this thing only takes stills, and I sometimes need to do that. But so far, everything else it's filling in nicely. So I can now travel without reporting to anyone my exact location. And fuck you if you think you're gonna find out where I am. I'm incognito now. Good luck to you, pal. Try to coordinate those cell phone towers. Take your best guess, and we'll see. Thanks, guys.